This is TWiT.
Just back from IFA, the big tech conference in Berlin, Devindra Hardawar is here to tell us about everything he saw there. Welcome back to the show, Devindra.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Did you get your personalized Google invite?
I did not. I'm feeling a little left out right now. I'm sure somebody did it. Yeah, I don't really do as much phone stuff anymore.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
You can just take this. I don't need it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably glad that you're not going.
Yeah. There's some things I don't get invited to, and I'm okay with that. It's just too crazy. Yeah.
But you did go to IFA, so we should start by telling people what IFA is and whether or not you should ever pronounce it IFA.
I don't know if you should pronounce it IFA. I've only heard IFA. There is a long German, official name for it. It's basically the CES of Europe. And it's just like a big gathering. It's a good international gathering, too, because it's right there smack dab between, America and Asia as well. So a lot more companies. There's a much more international scene there than what we see at CES. So that's basically it. It's the big mid-year shindig.
Now, is that to say that it's not as relevant to the United States? I know, like, as far as phones are concerned, a lot of those phones don't end up making it to the U.S. Is that the same for other technology that's shown off there?
It's kind of a mixture. There's definitely a lot of news. Like we saw a lot of laptop news that'll end up here in America, I think, and some phone news as well. But yeah, it's, there are huge markets outside of North America, too, where a ton of things get announced. I do Computex as well. That's usually in July. And that's an Asian big thing in Taiwan. And, again, most of those products we don't see. And then still some PCs we do. Yeah.
And so should I burn my 4K TV? Is it old technology now that you saw some 8K TVs there?
That's really, I think, what the tech companies will want us to say, especially at CES. Like, it's going to be a big thing. I certainly don't think so. I wrote a whole thing about this in Engadget. But the leap from 4K to 8K just really isn't that huge. And honestly, even the leap between 1080p and 4K isn't that big on the resolution alone. With 4K, we got HDR. We got like a wider color gamut. We got a lot of other picture technologies that makes everything look better. And right now, 8K is just the resolution bump and not something you'll even notice, like if your TV is under 100 inches and if you're sitting, couch distance away. So I don't even know if that's ever going to have a role in the home. But yeah, we saw a couple sets get announced. Samsung said that they were bringing 8K QLED sets, and LG showed off their 8K OLED. Which we saw at CES, but now it's kind of actually running. So it's more real than it's ever been, even though we've seen these demos before.
So I remember it wasn't very long ago. I mean, it was long ago enough when HD was just starting, and like to conceive of a TV that's 50 inches in your living room seemed like a really big deal. Like the first time I saw a 50-inch TV, I felt like I was almost at a movie theater. And now we've gotten so accustomed to it. But a big reason for those large sets was because HD TV as a standard seemed to make those larger sets not look like mud. It looked actually really nice when you had good HD content. You're talking about 8K requiring a much larger screen. Do you envision in the future that we're all going to have 100-inch screens in our living rooms? Because that's the way that that's basically the road that 8K has paved.
Yeah, I don't think we do it just for 8K, but honestly, so in my living room, I have a 4K OLED, which is beautiful. It's 55 inches. And then when I want to watch a movie, I turn on my projector. It's still 1080p HD, but it spits out, a 100-inch image. And that is so engulfing and so cinematic. And I still prefer watching movies on that rather than my brand new 4K set. Yeah. So there is something to be said for a large image. I think 4K, in the home will probably be the standard for a long while. Even in theaters right now, like most of those digital projectors are just 4K and they still look fantastic. 8K will probably have a bigger home in theaters where you're looking at a much, huge screen, and you're looking at it much more closely than you are, at home. So yeah, I do think big screens, they're getting cheaper. Just look at it. Like you could get a 55-inch TCL great 4K set for around $500 to $600 today. The 65-inch sets are around $1,000. OLED is getting down in price. We're looking at micro LEDs, which is the new technology Samsung and LG are pursuing, and those are meant to be huge. So I think something like that I could see becoming standard down the line. Yeah.
And what about all the people that insist on watching Netflix on their phones? Like what?
I can't help them. Yeah. Don't talk to me, please.
8K on your phone? Is that?
Oh yeah.
Is this where we're headed?
I don't know. Certainly 4K on phones right now seems kind of useless too, because you can't see those pixels. It doesn't really matter. But if we're using our phones as mobile VR headsets, maybe that becomes more important. I think more mobile 4K screens will be more useful outside of phones, probably in like a standalone, VR headset of some kind, and that makes a huge difference because your eyes are just right up against the screen. You're just staring at all those pixels.
I need to talk about something much more practical: the water-powered eye massager that you tried.
Yeah,
IFA.
It's super cool. This is a thing we've seen it before. It's from RI, and there are many eye massagers out there. But that video is not working. There are many eye massagers out there. This one just uses a bit of water to kind of move through the membranes of the face mask, and it's like a nice massaging motion. It's very nice. I really dig it. I have never tried an eye massager before, but now I really want one. Yeah.
So it's not shooting water into your eyeballs.
No, although your eyes do get a little damp, I think, just by being so close to something like that, but it's kind of refreshing. Sometimes when I go to the barber, they throw a hot towel on my face once everything is over, and they give me like a nice head rub and eye rub, and that feels good. This is almost like that.
So maybe your eyes were getting damp because you were just so brought to tears with the experience.
It's just beautiful.
I don't know. There's a striking similarity to this and VR headsets, and I will tell you, I will attest, and you know all about this, Devindra, that my eyes even get damp when I'm, playing VR for too long because you get that hot face experience. So it's just probably a little more pleasant.
Yeah, with VR, my eyes either get sweaty or like really dry because it feels like you're just holding them open like Clockwork Orange style, I think.
Yes, undoubtedly.
Someone in our chat room wonders if perhaps they were stealing your retina scans, to just use for biometrics.
I don't know, but your eyes are closed, right?
Oh, yeah. Are your eyes closed?
Yeah. Your eyes are closed. Eyes are closed during this whole thing. It's a really nice meditative experience. Who knows what kind of biometric data they could get from this? Right now, it just seems like a nice chill headset.
Interesting. So one thing that caught my eye, and I saw this and then realized you actually got to sit in it, the Acer Predator Thronos cockpit, which I don't know. I don't know what to think of this. Who is it even for? And explain it a little bit.
I think this is peak gamer, just peak gamer excess.
Yeah.
It is for, the main character of Ready Player One or something, right? It is this weird, it's a gamer chair, but it also has this scorpion tail hood above it that lowers above you and puts 3 huge screens. Yeah. It's very mechanical. You can maneuver the entire chair, but also the arm for the displays is pretty fantastic too. But yeah, it's so weird. It is just so weird. It's like a whole gaming experience right there. You don't have to set it up at your table, right? It's a whole moving table basically.
Wow. Okay. So then, I mean, the analog to this, or the layman's version of this, is just a desk with 3 widescreen kind of curved monitors around you.
Yeah.
Is the only differentiator here that you're sitting in a throne and looking slightly up?
That's pretty much it. It's a typical motorized leather chair.
Okay.
And then it's just kind of all around you. It could be space saving for some people, even though it looks so huge. It could be great for arcades. They're not talking about pricing or availability yet. It just seems like one of those things that exists because they could do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't see this at IFA, but you wrote about it on Engadget. The Roomba that contains a Roomba that empties itself.
Yo, dog, they put a vacuum in your vacuum. Yeah.
Tell us about that. I mean, it's not available yet, but tell us what we can expect.
Yeah, that's the Roomba i7 Plus, and I've been a big fan of Roombas forever. Honestly, I got one way back around 2004 or 2005 when basically all they could do is just go around and be vacuums. This new one has the mapping technology that they had in the 980, the last big model, but the charging base can suck up the air it can suck up the lint bin from the Roomba and just store it. So you don't have to do anything. You don't even have to pick up the Roomba and get it dirty. It just kind of does it all for you. It's amazing.
It is amazing because I have a Neato Robotics vacuum and I love it, but then I'll forget to empty it and then it doesn't work. So it's I have it set and then I get a message on my Apple Watch saying I'm stuck, empty me, but I'm already at work, and it's the Stone Age or something.
Yeah.
How do you live?
It's insane. But yeah, this is like a step towards automated cleaning. And it's something I use Roombas all the time as well. I can't just like let it go because I have to go find it and unload it. And then you get dirt all over you. You get dust all over you. This has like a self-contained bag. You just pull that out after like 30 cleans, which should technically last you a couple of months, I guess. And that's it. You put in a new one. The only thing is those are disposable bags. So you have to like, keep buying them from Roomba.
Okay.
Yeah. But you have to buy filters for the Roomba regularly, right? Like
I feel like most people don't do that. I kind of just wash mine out. But yes, you do have to occasionally like buy new ones as well.
I'm waiting for the Roomba that can actually climb up my stairs and go to the top and then do the upstairs that's carpeted versus the downstairs that's hardwood. So, I have high expectations.
That's all. Just 2 Roombas. I actually think you could probably do that too if you had one Roomba and maybe 2 of these bases and just kind of, change the location every day or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it has mapping. So if you were to take it to a different location, it would probably know where it's at that point. Hopefully,
it's pretty cool too. The mapping, they had it before, but now it's like more advanced. So you can set up, you can tell it where the rooms are in your house. And with like a Google Home commands, you could just say, please clean the kitchen, and it'll do that. So it's pretty cool.
That is very cool. Well, Devindra, thanks as always for joining us. Devindra writes about technology, writes about movies and TV and vacuums for Engadget.
Everything, whatever's cool.
Whatever's cool. And you can find him at Devindra on Twitter. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.